Welcome to Deep Thought. Be in the moment when dealing with a person. And this is kind of a follow-up to what I was talking about the last time. You know, how one person doesn't represent the behaviors of a group. You know, even if they have some commonalities, at the end of the day, they are them. You know, like they could be totally different from the group. The best way to deal with this is to be in the moment. Yeah, we all look, we always going to have some general stereotypes, no matter what, no matter how hard we try. But you got to kind of put them to the side. Yeah, you can look at them and say, okay, this is usually like if you got experience and you had experiences, like, okay, this happened last time. I'll keep that in mind. But I'm going to deal with this person in the moment. I'm not going to think about what happened in the past with someone who was similar or what can happen in the future. I'm going to see what's up until they give me reason not to feel that way. Because you don't know. You don't know. And I've been there before. I ain't going to act like, because all of us have. I ain't going to act like, oh, I've been in the moment and I took them. Because I remember one time, I was thinking about this one time, you know. It was an interracial thing. It wasn't with me. It was with another person, because it was a white young lady working at this grocery store. This is well over a decade ago. And I just looked at her. I said, man, she wouldn't give a brother the time of day. She just had that look. And it was based on a stereotype. But then a brother came in there and she was all over him. And I was like, man. And that's when I said, you know what? You can't have that. And there's been plenty of other occasions. We make an assumption. And like I said, it's tough to, because yeah, there's some commonalities, but then we adding in what we think to be. That's a big problem now with all of us. Well, none of us are exempt from it. But we have to work to deal with that. We have to work to deal with who's in front of us at the moment. What are they doing? What are they saying? You know? Like, they could turn out to be a bad person and more in line with whatever the general stereotype is. Or they could go totally against it. Or they could be somebody who might have some things in common, but then has some other stuff that you never saw coming. You know, totally from left field. But here's the thing. If you deal with someone in the moment, just say, okay, what are they doing? Are they being kind to me? Are they being nice? They being helpful? Whatever you need from them at that moment. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. Because, you know, going back to what I said even before about the social media thing, of people putting on, they can actually put on masks, or you don't see the whole picture. You know, you still, even when we're dealing with people in public, most of us aren't as authentic as we like to pretend. You know, even someone like myself, I told you, I don't show everything. You know, and it's not like I'm putting on a mask, but I just don't show everything. I always got more to me. I put it like that. And most people are like that. Let's be real. Y'all don't want y'all out and about. Do y'all show everything about you? Seriously. You know, all you can deal with is at that moment. What is that person presenting to you at that moment? Just at that moment. You know, they being cool, calm, are they showing something? And even then, even when you talk about that moment, that could be just that moment. Let me give a story. I remember, I never forget this one. I was in a department store. It was a Macy's at Metro Center down in D.C., Metro Center store. And I remember, you know, I was about to get some stuff. Now I got in line. There was some stuff right there on the floor in front of me, right? Right there on the floor. So I saw it, so I stood behind it. This woman came over and she was real mean. She was like, that's my stuff there. And I said, excuse me, ma'am. I knew it was somebody's stuff. That's why I'm standing behind it. And then, okay, so she started off as mean, but then after I said that real calm, she started smiling like a Cheshire cat. I mean, she started smiling. She's like, what church you go to and all of that, you know? So, you know, it's just like, okay. So even then somebody can change, but at the best, The best thing you can do is just be in the moment. What are they presenting you right there? How's it a benefit to you? What's the nature of what's the nature of the encounter? Is it just somebody you met on the street? Is it somebody you're talking to for business? You know, now if you meet somebody on the street, you just need to be polite. You know, you don't know anything about them, what they're going to do. Hey, it could be something helpful. Or when you, if it's you in a store or something. Like, say, let me use a store example again. Say you in a store and you feel like, oh, that clerk isn't smiling or anything. But you say, oh, they must be bad and have terrible service, all of that. But you don't know what that clerk might have just had a loss in her family, his or her family, you know? That might be how they are until they talk with somebody. That you might talk with them and it's like you find out some stuff. In fact, they might be like, hey, you know what? Why not put this stuff away for you? We got a sale coming up, or check out stuff. This is the better day to buy things and all of that. You might have a connection, you know? It's like basically try to empty your mind of any prejudices, any stereotypes, anything you have. And it takes work, trust me, because we all have them. Like I said, I'm going to make, you know, when I'm reading somebody, I'm automatically going to do that. So I know before, probably better than everybody, but I got to put that to the side until I talk to them. You know, I've lost count of how many people I've met, and I would think one thing based on maybe a stereotype or something, and they just totally friendly. You know, they were just totally friendly. So it's like you gotta really open your mind, be in the moment. Don't make any assumptions, because when we coming into a situation thinking a person is going to behave this way or a certain way, then that's how we responding to that person. So we already probably put ourselves in a defensive posture when we didn't need to. Only time you should do that is as you dealing with that person, they show that you need to be defensive. You got to keep your mind open. Keep your mind open at that moment. And then just see how it goes and where it goes. All right. I want y'all to really think about that. All right. Really think about that. And it's tough. Like I said, it's tough. Because I have no problem saying that's something I've worked on. And I ain't 100% perfect with it. I may never get that way. But I still work on it though. Because you just never know. You never know. All right. So, and this is coming from somebody who can read people very well. But even then, I'll say, okay, this is what I see initially. A lot of times I'll be right, but I still put it to the side. I still put it to the side. I just say, let me see what they're going to present on their own. All right. And like I said, I'm just going to reiterate. It's tough, but try it anyway. Because I've been surprised great many times too. Even when I had a pretty good read on them, they always hit me with something that I found to be useful. All right. So that's all I have for now. And I'll get back with you. Peace and blessings.